All right, let's get right into it. We're diving deep into an absolutely wild night of NBA action from March 11th, 2025.
Some real game changers tonight, that's for sure.
You know it. 4 games on our radar tonight.
Yeah, lay 'em on me.
We've got the Pelicans taking on the Clippers, then the Pacers are up against the Bucks.
All right, what else we got?
Then it's Pistons versus the Wizards, and rounding it all out, the Cavaliers are going head-to-head with the Nets.
Okay, so we've got some big matchups tonight.
Big time. And these games weren't just about the scores. They gave us a glimpse into how these teams are shaping up as we head towards the playoffs.
Definitely some surprises in there.
Absolutely. So let's break it all down, starting with that Pelicans and Clippers game.
Yeah, that one finished 127-120. Pelicans coming out on top.
Right, but it was a real nail-biter. And, we got to talk about Zion Williamson.
Oh, yeah, the man was unstoppable.
Second career triple-double for him.
22 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. I mean, come on.
He was an absolute beast out there, just dominating on both ends of the court.
It wasn't just the numbers. It was the way he was playing with his intensity and purpose.
Driving to the basket like a man possessed, finding his teammates for open shots.
He really willed his team to victory.
And they needed every bit of it, considering they were down by, get this, 21 points at one point.
Whoa, 21 points. That's
Yes.
a tough hole to dig out of.
Yeah, but they did it. That says a lot about the Pelicans' resilience.
Shows you what they're made of for sure. Not giving up when things get tough.
Couldn't agree more. And, shout out to CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy III.
They had big nights too, right?
Oh, yeah. McCollum dropped 23 points. Murphy had 21. They really stepped up.
They really picked up the slack when the team needed them most.
And on the Clippers side, it was almost a James Harden show.
Really? The beard. What did you do?
He almost had a triple-double himself, put up 25 points, and dished out a whopping 17 assists.
Wow, that's not the Harden we're used to seeing.
Right. He's really transitioning into more of a facilitator role.
Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder how that'll impact the Clippers going forward.
Something to watch, for sure.
For sure.
All right, next up, we've got a game that went right down to the wire.
Oh, I love those. Which one?
Pacers versus the Bucks. Pacers squeaking out a 115-114 victory.
And those one-point games, you can't beat the drama.
And the hero of the hour, none other than Tyrese Haliburton.
What'd he do? Hit the game winner.
Better than that, he sank a game-winning 4-point play with just seconds left on the clock.
A 4-point play. Wait, remind me how that works again. I always get confused.
So a player gets fouled while making a three-pointer and then makes a free throw.
Oh, right. Got it.
Talk about ice in his veins, right?
Unbelievable composure for a young player like that.
And he's really blossomed this season, Haliburton.
Yeah, he's really stepping up as a leader for that team.
Exactly. That clutch shot was just a testament to his growth.
For sure. But, while everyone's talking about Haliburton, let's not forget about Pascal Siakam.
Ah, yes, Siakam. He quietly had himself an all-star performance.
What did he end up with?
25 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Solid.
Plus, Benedict Mathurin and Miles Turner came off the bench and made some big plays.
Nice. So it was a real team effort for the Pacers.
Absolutely.
And what about Giannis? I assume he had a monster game as usual?
Oh, he put up decent numbers, 19 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists.
So a typical night at the office for Giannis then?
Pretty much, but even with his usual dominance, the Bucks just couldn't pull it off.
Interesting. Makes you wonder if the Pacers might be a tougher opponent come playoff time than people realize.
They're a team to watch for sure.
Agreed.
Now, how about a game that wasn't quite as close?
All right, lay it on me.
The Pistons just steamrolled the Wizards. 123-103 final score.
Wow, blowout city.
They dominated the entire second half, building a double-digit lead and just never letting up.
The Pistons are looking good, I gotta say.
They are, and it's not just one guy carrying the load.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like a real team effort.
Exactly. Cade Cunningham led the way with 27 points and 10 assists.
He's so fun to watch.
And Jalen Duren had a double-double, 15 points and 13 rebounds.
That Pistons front court is a force to be reckoned with.
No doubt about it, but things got a little chippy in this game.
Oh, what happened?
The Wizards racked up 2 flagrant fouls, and there was an altercation that led to Richaun Holmes getting ejected.
Ejected. Dang, who was he tangled up with?
Marcus Smart. It got pretty heated.
Wow, makes you wonder if that level of physicality will help or hurt the Pistons in the long run.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that going forward.
For sure.
All right, let's wrap up this first set of recaps with the Cavaliers and the Nets.
All right, what happened there?
The Cavs snagged a 109-104 victory.
Sounds close.
It was, and they had to overcome an 18-point deficit to do it.
Wow, that's impressive.
And the architect of that incredible comeback Darius Garland.
Oh, I love Garland. What'd he do?
He exploded for 18 of his 30 points in the fourth quarter.
Clutch. Talk about stepping up when it matters most.
He's becoming a true leader for the Cavaliers.
Absolutely. That performance just solidified it for me.
And we can't forget about Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They were beasts down low.
Always putting in work.
Allen had 13 rebounds and 23 points. Mobley contributed 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists.
They just dominate the paint.
And with this win, the Cavaliers tied their franchise record for the longest winning streak.
How long is that streak?
An impressive 15 games.
Wow, that's something else. What about the Nets? Who led the way for them?
Cam Thomas had a good night, put up 27 points.
Solid. But yeah, this game really shows that the Cavaliers are a top contender this season, no doubt about it.
They've got the consistency, the ability to overcome adversity.
Those are the hallmarks of a championship caliber team.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And you know what? They clinched the Central Division title with that win, too.
And you know what makes that Cavaliers win even sweeter?
What's that?
They actually clinched the Central Division title with that victory.
Oh, wow, that's right. Talk about adding another layer of icing on the cake.
Definitely a testament to their dominance this season. But stepping back from the individual games for a second, what are your big takeaways from tonight's matchups?
Well, I gotta say, the thing that really stands out to me is those power shifts we're seeing.
Yeah, like who?
Well, you look at the Pelicans and the Pacers, those weren't exactly considered top contenders at the start of the season.
Right, they were kind of flying under the radar.
Exactly, but now they're proving they can hang with the best of them.
Taking down some of those big dogs.
And it's really shaking things up. We haven't seen this kind of parity in the league for a while.
So you think we're in for some playoff upsets?
I wouldn't be surprised. Any team that gets hot at the right time could make a deep run.
You know what? I'm starting to feel it too.
And you know what's great about those underdog stories?
What's that?
They keep the fans on the edge of their seats. The excitement, the unpredictability, it's what makes the playoffs so special.
Couldn't agree more.
And speaking of edge of your seat moments, we got to talk about those clutch plays we saw tonight.
Oh yeah, those were something else. Some real game changers out there.
Zion's triple-double was phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but for me, it's got to be Tyrese Haliburton's game-winning four-point play.
Oh yeah, that was pure magic.
The poise he showed under pressure, that's what impressed me the most, especially for a young player like that.
For sure. And, you know, it wasn't just Haliburton. Zion was playing like a man possessed, carrying his team on his back.
Yeah, but, you know, those leadership qualities, that's what can make or break a team, especially in the playoffs.
Right. And look at the Pistons, for example.
What about them?
They managed to keep their cool despite all that physicality, those heated exchanges against the Wizards.
Yeah, they didn't let the Wizards get in their heads.
And that kind of mental toughness is invaluable.
Speaks to their discipline, their focus.
But could that aggressive edge backfire against a more disciplined team?
It's possible. Definitely something to think about.
Something to watch, for sure.
And on the flip side, we saw some teams really struggle with their composure tonight.
Yeah, like who?
The Clippers, letting that 21-point lead slip away against the Pelicans, that's got to sting.
Yeah, comebacks happen, but you got to maintain that killer instinct for all 4 quarters.
Can't afford to let up, not even for a second.
All right, shifting gears a bit.
Sure. Where are we headed?
Let's talk about those young guns making waves in the league.
Ooh, I love seeing the next generation step up.
Cade Cunningham continues to impress with his playmaking abilities.
He's got a bright future ahead of him.
And Jalen Duren, that guy's a force in the paint.
You can't teach size.
What's exciting is their potential. They're making significant contributions now, and they're only going to get better.
The league is in good hands with these guys coming up.
Absolutely. And speaking of rising stars, we can't forget about Darius Garland.
Oh, man, he's electric.
His performance against the Nets tonight was a masterclass in clutch play.
You could just see the leadership in his eyes, taking control of the game.
And let's not forget about Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
That Cavaliers front court is something else.
They're forming a formidable duo. Down low, their size, their athleticism, it's a nightmare matchup for any team.
Yes.
So, taking all of this into account, it looks like the Eastern Conference is shaping up to be a real battleground this year.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a dogfight for sure.
The Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Pacers, even the Nets, who are kind of in a rebuilding phase.
You can never count them out completely.
The East is wide open. It'll be fascinating to see how the playoff picture unfolds.
Agreed. And in the West.
Well, the Pelicans' win over the Clippers adds another layer of intrigue.
Yeah, the Clippers have been a bit inconsistent this season.
But the Pelicans have shown they can play at an elite level.
The question is, Can they maintain that momentum?
Only time will tell, but either way, the West is always a dogfight.
And with teams like the Pelicans shaking things up, it's going to be even more unpredictable this year.
The playoffs can't come soon enough.
I'm with you on that.
And speaking of shaking things up, we saw some pretty heated moments in some of these games tonight.
Oh, yeah, those flagrant fouls, the altercations, even an ejection.
It's a reminder that these guys are competitors, and sometimes emotions boil over.
It's all part of the drama. It's what keeps us coming back for more.
You know what? I'd love to know what stood out to you the most from tonight's action.
What caught my attention? That's a tough one.
What are you looking forward to seeing as the season progresses?
I think for me, it's the emergence of these young stars, guys like Haliburton, Cunningham, Garland. They're bringing a new energy to the league.
They're the future of the NBA.
And it's not just about individual talent. It's about the strategic battles between coaches, the unsung heroes, the role players who make those crucial plays that don't always show up in the box score.
It's all those elements coming together that make this sport so compelling.
And speaking of compelling, we can't forget about those off-court storylines.
Right. The influence of international players is growing.
The NBA is a global phenomenon now.
And the impact of social media and technology, you can't deny it.
Social media has given players a platform to connect with fans in a way we've never seen before.
And technology.
It's transforming everything, from scouting to player analysis.
We're entering a new era. It's exciting to see how it all unfolds.
For sure.
We've covered a lot of ground tonight.
We have. From those exciting games to the bigger picture of the NBA and its future.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface.
That's the beauty of it. The NBA is a constant evolution, a never-ending story.
All right, before we wrap up this deep dive, I gotta ask, what's the one thing from tonight's games that's gonna stick with you?
You know, it's funny you should ask that. I keep coming back to that idea of resilience.
Resilience, huh?
Yeah, we saw with the Pelicans overcoming that 21-point deficit.
And the Pacers battling until the final buzzer.
And the Cavaliers digging deep to secure that comeback win.
So many teams refusing to give up.
It's inspiring. It's a reminder that even when you're down, you can always find a way to fight back.
And you know what? Resilience is contagious.
It is. It's like these teams are feeding off each other's energy, pushing each other to their limits.
And that's what makes sports so powerful.
It's a reflection of the human spirit, our ability to overcome adversity and achieve great things.
And that's a message that transcends the basketball court.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap things up tonight, I want to leave you with this.
All right, I'm listening.
Keep an eye on these teams, these players, these storylines. The NBA is just getting started, and there's so much more to come.
And remember, it's not just about who wins or loses. It's about the stories, the rivalries, the moments that make this sport so captivating.
Beautifully said. Man, it's amazing how much action we managed to squeeze into a single night of basketball.
Yeah, and we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to unpack.
It really is incredible. I mean, we talked about those power shifts, about individual brilliance, the future of the league, but you know what really sticks with me?
What's that?
Just the sheer unpredictability of it all. You just never know what's going to happen next.
Exactly, and that's what keeps us coming back for more, that element of surprise, you know.
Absolutely. So before we wrap things up tonight, I got to put you on the spot.
All right, hit me with it.
Based on everything we've discussed tonight, which teams do you see making a deep playoff run this year?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You're really putting me on the spot here.
I know, but gotta have some fun with it, right?
Okay, well, the safe bet would probably be on those established powerhouses, you know, like the Lakers, the Nets, the Bucks, teams like that.
Yeah, those are the usual suspects.
But I have a feeling we're going to see some surprises this year, some real dark horses emerging.
Ooh, like who? Give me some names.
I wouldn't count out the Cavaliers. They've got that winning mentality, that never say die attitude. And with Garland leading the charge, I think they could be a real force to be reckoned with.
I agree. They're definitely a team to watch.
And how about the Pelicans? Do you think they can keep up that momentum we saw against the Clippers?
If Zion stays healthy and keeps playing with that fire in his eyes, I think they've got a real shot.
Yeah, they've definitely got the talent and the drive. It all comes down to execution.
And we can't forget about the Pacers.
They're kind of flying under the radar, but they've got a ton of potential.
Haliburton's a star in the making, and Siakam's a proven veteran who can carry a team.
Don't sleep on the Pacers. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be one heck of a playoff race. I can already feel it.
Me too. And that's the beauty of it all, isn't it? The anticipation, the excitement, the possibility that anything can happen.
Absolutely. So to our listeners out there, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, pay attention to the details, the storylines, those individual battles.
Because the NBA is a symphony of moments, and each one has the potential to be unforgettable.
Don't just watch the game, experience it. Feel that energy, the passion, the heartbreak, the triumph.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the wins and losses.
It's about the stories, the journeys, the human spirit on full display.
And that's what makes the NBA so much more than just a game.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I've learned so much, and I hope you have too.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure talking hoops.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep that passion for the game alive.
And remember, we'll see you on the next deep dive.
We'll see you then.